Welcome back to the Red Slayer Rides. I'm your host Connor, and in today's video we will be reviewing Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure at Universal Studios Islands of Adventure. And when I say we, I have a special guest with us. Would you like to speak?
Yo, hello, it's Trey. What's going on? I'm excited for this. Hagrid, so good.
Yes, it is a very good ride. Trey was there with me when I rode Hagrid, and also we got 11 rides on it. It was amazing. And yeah, we're gonna review it. You ready?
Yeah, I'm down, bro.
Alright, let's get into it. Alright, so here's some basic facts about the ride. It is 5,053 feet long with a top height of 65 feet and a top speed of 50 miles per hour. There's 7 launches, a rollback, a switch track, and a drop track. Lots of different types of tracks. Also, there are 12 trains with 7 cars in each train and rows of 2. So that is 14 riders per train. And again, there's 12. And they can run 1,700 riders per hour, which is very good. And so this ride, capacity-wise, Universal, amazing. But onto the layout. Alrighty, so you start with a nice roll out of the station with some amazing theming surrounding you, and then you hit the first launch, where Hagrid tells you he will meet you at the edge of the Forbidden Forest. Then you start to go through these tiny curves, and then you hit the second launch, which you get a little bit of a kick from that one, where then you go underneath the bridge, up into a few curves, up into a tiny little airtime moment, which you do get some decent if you're in the front row, and then you curve up to the left into this building, where there's this Scroot in there, and the Scroot kind of starts spitting on you, and Hagrid's like, alright, see you guys later, the bikes will take you back to Hogwarts. And then you hit your third launch, which that also gives you a really good kick of acceleration, where then you go up underneath the tower, and back down underneath the bridge again, and through these rapid banking turns, where you go back into another rapid banking turn, and then you hit your fourth launch, which doesn't really do much. Then you hit another turn, and Hagrid's like, I didn't think they would take you into the forest, just hang on. And then you start going through these turns again, in a little airtime moment. And then you slowly slow down, go by Fluffy, and then turn. There's the switch track. You launch, you go underneath the bridge, or the cave with the car, and you go up this 70-degree spike. You fall back down that spike, going backwards, the car flashes its lights at you, and then you launch backwards, going in a different section of track now. Then you just do a upwards helix backwards, where then you enter the dark forest, the main part of it, at least. Which, then there's a centaur right there, and you're backing up, and then you keep backing up into, oh cranky, you tangled in Devil's Snare, and then you look up and it's like Lumos Selene, and bye-bye, you drop down. And then Hagrid's like, oh, you found my missing Scroots, and then one of them tries to blast you with fire, which is not fun, and then Hagrid tells you, push the purple button. You hit that button, and then you launch to your max speed of 50 miles per hour, and that launch is the best launch of the whole ride, hands down. And then you fly back up into that nice overbank where you get a nice whip right there. If you're in the motorbike, you do get whipped a lot of the ride. And then you slide into the final brake run, where then you're around a corner, and Hagrid's like, oh, a unicorn, and look, it's a mum. And that was your ride experience. Alright, so let's talk about some other aspects of the ride, such as the queue line. I'll let Trey explain for this one.
When you go into the queue line, you go to Hagrid's house, and there's a few pumpkins. It's pretty cool. Then you go into the pre-show. It's sadly closed due to the pandemic. And then you go to the fireplace room, I guess. That's what we're going to call it. And it's kind of like a kitchen in there. Then you go to the room, and there's a bunch of eggs. So after that, you go to the, like this weird, creepy tunnel. Yeah, that thing's scary. And after that, you go into this room with like a bunch of bottles and eggs looking things inside there. It's kind of weird. There's a few posters in there, but yeah, that's pretty much it. After that, you go into a spider room, and that room is honestly my favorite because it's awesome. Then after that, you get on the ride.
Alright, so now we're going to talk about the elements because Hagrid had some pretty good ones, and there's quite a few. So, Trey, what should we start out on?
Let's talk about our favorite element.
Alright, you go first.
My favorite element was the drop track, probably. Yeah. Because, I mean, I was very surprised when it happened. I really just thought I was going to go backwards. But also the vine thing, that's also pretty cool. Connor, what's your favorite?
My favorite is the element right after the drop track, the final launch, because one, you go the fastest on the ride after that launch, and two, I don't know what it is. It's just maybe nostalgia reasons to the first time I rode it, because the first time I rode it, I forgot that there was a launch there, even though I'd seen a POV of the ride. I forgot that, oh wait, there's a big final launch, and also pressing the purple button is cool, but some of the other ones, the reverse spike, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, without the, I guess, was that like a mist machine or a gas machine?
Mist.
Yeah, without the mist machine, it would have been, like, sort of good. But with the mist machine, it actually, like, really helped.
It did, I agree. Also,
But you don't know what's gonna happen with the mist machine, because you can't see anything behind it, so...
Precisely. And also, when you go underneath the rocks, you can't see the spike when you're going under, either, which is nice. And I would say, once you start going backwards, you get a sense of fear, because if you're a first rider, you don't know that there's a switch track behind you, and it switches very quickly. Trey and I actually did look behind ourselves when we rode it, because we were in the back row and we were just looking behind ourselves at the track switch. And Trey, I mean, it switches pretty quick.
Yeah, it does, because, I mean, there's not a big time thing, but...
You don't have a lot of time to switch, and if somehow it malfunctions, there's brakes directly after you drop. You'll just valley in that tiny little section underneath the rocks, and then somebody will come get you. So this ride's perfectly safe, as with all roller coasters. And also, the fact is that they can have 12 trains on the track. Now that's just mind-blowing.
Yeah, it is. You're almost always moving in the queue line.
Especially on the ride. If you stop moving, that means there's a problem, and the ride will fix itself pretty much. It's such a amazing idea that this ride exists, because I don't know how Intamin pulled it off. It's incredible.
Yeah, I definitely think it is very incredible, because, I mean, it must have, I don't know, like, it just so much technology put into that, and it's just really insane.
Yeah, the fact is that there's multiple different track switches, because bear in mind, there's also 2 drop tracks. Each train, it alternates between one drop track and the other drop track. And so there's a switch track there, the switch track when you're going backwards, also switching back, so then the train, after you finish that switch track, then the train behind you can go in. And so the track is switching constantly, and it's so mind-boggling that it's hard to wrap your head around.
Yeah, it is.
It really, yeah, no, there's nothing else like it in the world, and this is why it's one of my favorite rides, and I'm gonna give it the beautiful 100.
I mean, for me, I would definitely have to give it 100, because it's just insane. I mean, it doesn't go high, but it's still, like, so good. Like, just, it's hard to explain, like, how good it is.
Yeah, we're stuttering so hard because it's so hard to explain this ride. You just gotta go ride it for yourself.
I'm honestly just trying to think of what to say to, like, how to explain it, bro.
Justify this ride. It's incredible. And that was our review on Hagrid. We both gave it a 100 out of 100 because it's beautiful and, you know, it was good. Give me your thoughts in the comments below, please. And, hey, if you guys want Trey in another video, then hit the like button and especially subscribe because I have a bunch of new subscribers and I'm at 40, which is a huge accomplishment for me. And without further ado, this was the Red Slayer Rides and I'm out. Bye, guys.